All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I cannot believe, as I said in my email, um, it's already October 6th. we're well into the month of October. So, well into the fall and into the season of Vata, according to Ayurveda, the season of air and wind. And tonight is, I love this. I love when the Monday night class or our Yoga Nidra class aligns with the moon and the stars. So tonight we are under the radiant energy of the full harvest moon in Aries. And I think that's actually a really interesting sort of combination. Full harvest moon, the Vata season, a lot of air and wind. And then for those of you who follow astrology, um, Aries is a fire sign. So it's an interesting combination. And we're going to work with the energy of the full harvest moon in Aries this evening. So to prepare, we'll start with our 15 minutes of breath work, and then we'll transition into Yoga Nidra, practice of deep conscious rest. So take some time getting settled, right? And just rest your eyes when you're ready. Maybe close the eyes. It's the closing of the eyes that gives you the first invitation to move inward. So as you do so, begin to feel your body slowing down and winding from the day. Some time to feel the back of the body supported. Ideally, you're lying down on your couch, bed, on your yoga mat, feeling supported, and the earth, the ground, surface below you, steady beneath you. So as I mentioned, the harvest moon marks a very interesting time and crossing of energies, the elements of air and wind or vata and fire or pitta. And it marks, well, the harvest moon itself marks a really great time of illumination and completion. So it's a moment when the fruits of our efforts are revealed and the path ahead becomes a bit more clear. And Aries, which is actually, I didn't even know this, but it's the first sign of the zodiac. And that brings the energy of fire, as I mentioned, also courage and new beginnings. So the spark of this fire, this flame, Aries, reminds us that we are capable of action, taking action, and change. As I mentioned, this is also Vata season, the season of air and wind, season of movement, transition, and lightness. So we need to be careful because when Vata's airy qualities mix with the fire of Aries, the energy can rise quickly, which can be quite inspiring, right? But also potentially volatile, like a wildfire that burns out of control. So for tonight, our practice is about tending this flame, tending to the flame without letting it burn too fast or too bright. So we'll cultivate this evening a steady glow rather than a wildfire, a steady glow that allows for warmth and nourishment rather than exhaustion, depletion. We'll ground the air, steady the fire, and invite the calm, reflective light of the full moon to guide us home to a state of balance and ease. Let's begin coming home to oneself, moving inward through the five senses. Rest your eyes and notice the light, the darkness, the images, sights behind your eyelids. And then soften the eyelids a bit more and shift the gaze downward, inward. And then begin to listen. Listen for the sounds around you, my voice, perhaps the subtle hum of the room or others outside the four walls of the room where you happen to be. Sound of perhaps the fan, the heat, or the air conditioning if you're in Florida. Just notice the sounds around you, the distant sounds and the sounds close by. And then begin to perhaps listen to the sound of the breath within you. Feel for points of contact, skin on the body, clothing, the air around you. Feel for the weight of your body resting on the support of the ground beneath you. Notice the sense of smell, breathing in the scent, the aroma of the room where you happen to be. Feel and breathe in the most relaxed way possible. No effort. Within the mouth, notice any lingering taste from the day, perhaps dinner. And then feel for opening, releasing the jaw a little, allowing for a little bit of space between the upper jaw and the lower jaw. And then begin to feel and notice the breath ever so gently at the tip of the nose, perhaps at the back of the throat, and deep low belly. As you begin to now notice the breath in its natural state, its current state, its rhythm, pattern. Might even notice the texture of the breath. Quality of the inhale, the exhale, and any moments of pause along the way. Allow your awareness to rest upon the breath. Breathing in, you arrive. Breathing out, you let go. Breathing in, you are here, you are present. Breathing out, you are at home. Begin to feel a little more deeply for the breath, beginning to sense the breath in the deep low belly, and beginning to breathe just with a little more presence, a little more awareness by gently slowing down the breath. As you breathe in, feel for moving the breath into three parts of the body, beginning with breathing in from the belly, and then feeling the breath rise to expand to the rib cage, And then rising even higher up to the collarbones and the corresponding space at the back of the body. And then feel for just a full, complete exhalation, perhaps through the mouth, nose, or lips, any way that feels good for you. And then follow your next few cycles of breath, breathing in from deep low belly and sensing the breath. 3 points of contact, deep low belly, the entire surface of the rib cage, and then the upper chest, right up to the collarbones and the corresponding space at the back body, upper shoulder blades. Exhale any way that feels good, mouth, nose, or lips. And then continue for about 5 more breaths, noticing these 3 points of contact with the inhalation and allowing for a long, smooth exhalation, any way that feels just right for you. Allow your inhale to feel and to be continuous, and sensing those 3 points of contact within the continuous flow of the inhale. And then once you sense these 3 points of contact on the inhale, you might then begin to notice these 3 points of contact as you exhale. Okay. So breathing in from the bottom up, and then perhaps exhaling from the top down. Inhaling deep low belly, continuous flow to the rib cage, and then the upper spine, collarbones, shoulder blades, and then exhaling from the upper spine region to the rib cage to the deep low belly, low back. Three points of contact, breathing in. 3 points of contact, breathing out. Smooth, deep, continuous flow of breath. Allow yourself 1, maybe 2 or 3 more rounds until you feel complete with this practice of 3-part breath, Dirga Pranayama. As you release the technique, follow, be present with the natural flow of breath that follows. Feel for the release of letting go of the effort to breathe any specific way. And notice and observe how your body is responding to the practice of breath work. And then ever so gently, with very little to no effort, start to sense your belly breathing the breath again. As you breathe in, low belly will rise and expand a bit. And as you exhale, feel the belly sort of compress and descend towards the spine. Feel for this movement of the breath in the belly. Feel for the rhythm, texture, the quality of the breath from the belly. And you might begin to sense breathing just 1/3 of the way to your full capacity in the most effortless way possible. Breathing to just 1/3 of the way of your full capacity. One point of contact, the low belly, rising on the inhale, falling on the exhale. And then with each passing breath, sense the breath more subtle, less effort. As you breathe from the belly, sense the upper chest, collarbones quiet, soft, still. Sense the belly breathing the breath. Until the practice feels completely effortless. Beginning to let the breath breathe you. And then prepare. Transitioning from this practice of working with the breath to slow down the energies of the body to the practice of stillness, deep conscious rest, yoga nidra. Let's transition through the breath. We'll take 3 deep breaths, exhaling through the mouth, the nose, or lips. Might feel good to let go and to transition with a sigh. So deep breath from the belly, breathe in. Open the mouth, let go with a sigh. And release the day. That's now nearly behind you. And then take another deep, low belly breath. And breathe it all in. Perhaps purse the lips, exhale through the pursed lips. Allow yourself to linger in the exhalation, this time of letting go. Take the exhale to completion. And then as feels good for you, one more slow, deep breath from the belly, breathing in. Exhale any way that feels good. And now let's begin. Welcome yourself to the practice of Yoga Nidra. In this practice, we let go of all effort, including the effort to breathe. Let the breath breathe you, whole body breathing the breath in these moments of stillness. As you welcome yourself, check in with yourself. Be sure that you feel physically comfortable and entirely supported. So perhaps a pillow underneath your head, neck, shoulders. Maybe an eye pillow if you have one handy. Bolsters or pillows underneath the back of your knees. The body is cooling down, or you think you might get a little chilly, have a blanket to cozy up with, making any last moment adjustments so that you feel even more comfortable, supported, and now held in the practice of stillness. In this practice, there's nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to accomplish. No need to analyze my words or overthink. This is a practice of allowing. Allow for all of this experience and that it has to offer. Welcome the thoughts. Welcome these sensations. Welcome your presence. And if the mind wanders, you find yourself overthinking, becoming distracted, or even dozing off to sleep, the opposite, know that it's completely natural. When this happens, simply return to this practice of allowing your body to breathe the breath. And then with the whole body, listen for the sound of my voice. Settling in, give yourself permission to simply be still, present, and deeply aware of one's presence. Feel for your presence within the body, around the energetic space of the heart center. And as you begin to settle into the feeling of gratitude, this opportunity to slow down, you might take some time to create or connect with your inner sanctuary, a real or imagined place within you that you can create or recreate through your mind's eye. Take in the sights, colors, the sounds, even the aromas of your inner sanctuary. And then feel for your presence within this sacred space. This is your inner home, always present, unchanging, calm. Feel your body soften as you settle into your inner sanctuary, your safe haven. And then with the feeling of gratitude and the energy of this sacred space within you, you might now invite your sankalpa, your intention, your heart's intention for being here, for being present. Whatever your intention might be, connect to a word or a phrase that captures the essence of your intention, and most powerfully, speak your intention as truth. Allow your intention to be clear, simple, and true. I release what no longer serves me. I move forward with courage and grace. I am illuminated and renewed. Whatever your intention might be, repeat it to yourself or out loud 3 times. And then breathe it in. Exhale. Let go. And trust the process. Feel whole body breathing the breath, your awareness captured, held by your presence within the breath. Your breath is the bridge between body and mind, between presence and awareness. We'll count down the breath from 10 to 1. Simply follow my count, descending into deeper relaxation and inner ease. 10. Breathing softly. The body is beginning to let go. 9. Each breath a little more smooth, a little softer. 8. The belly rises and falls like the ocean waves. 7. The breath grows lighter. The mind a little more quiet. 6. Shoulders soften and your jaw releases. 5. Every exhale, melting a little more tension from the day. 4. The breath and body move in one rhythm. 3. Your body feels deeply calm and safe. 2. A tranquil stillness fills your being. 1. Breath is effortless, now resting in awareness itself. As you rest within the presence of your awareness, will now travel through the body, illuminating each part of the body with awareness and your presence. As I name each part of the body, sense it glowing softly, like moonlight moving across the earth. Sense and feel for the right side of the body, breathing the breath. Through the breath, sense your awareness, presence in the right side of the body. Palm of the right hand, tip of the right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the pinky, back of the right hand, right wrist, and the whole right arm, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder blade, collarbone, and the space between. Right side of the rib cage, right side lung, right side heart space, right side waist, low belly, low back, and the space between. Right hip and your whole right leg, upper thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the right foot, sole of the right foot, right big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth. Sense. Right side of the body, breathing the breath. Through the breath, sense your awareness, your presence. Shifting to the left side of the body, begin to feel for left side of the body, breathing the breath. And through the breath, sense your awareness, your presence. Left side of the body, palm of the left hand, tip of the left thumb, left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the pinky, back of the left hand, left wrist, and the whole left arm, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder blade, collarbone, and the space between, left side of the rib cage, left lung, left side of the heart space, left side waist, low belly, low back, and the space between, left hip and the whole left leg, upper thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, top of the left foot, sole of the left foot, left big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth. Feel for the entire left side of the body, the breath, your awareness, your presence in the left side body. And then sense your awareness moving toward the back of the body, beginning to sense the whole back of the body, breathing the breath. And through the breath, sense your awareness, your presence at the bottoms of your feet, heels, and the back of your legs, calves, back of the knees, upper back thighs, and the back of your hips, tip of the tailbone, center of low back of the rib cage, lungs, heart space. Sense the entire back side of the spine, inner and outer shoulder blades, back of the shoulders and your arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, back of the wrists, hands, and the fingers. Feel for the skin on the back of your neck, the base of your skull, back of the head, behind the ears. From the crown of the head to the fingertips to your toes, sense and feel for the breath in the back of the body, your awareness, your presence in the back of the body. Guide your attention towards the front side of the body. Begin to sense the breath, presence, and awareness in the space at the center of your forehead, between the eyebrows, temples, tip of the nose, cheekbones, upper jaw, lower jaw, and the space between the collarbones, outer edges of your collarbones, front side of the shoulders, and your arms, elbows, inner wrists, palms of the hands, fingertips. Sense the heart space, center of the rib cage, the navel center, above and below, deep low belly, front side of your hips, and the whole front legs, thighs, kneecaps, shins, tops of your feet, tips of the toes. From the toe tips to your fingertips to the crown of the head, sense and feel the entire front side of the body, breathing each breath, and through the breath, sense your awareness, presence within the whole body now. Within the whole body, feel for the breath, whole body breathing each breath, every cycle of breath, sensing your awareness, your presence in this natural rhythm of the breath. Steady, at ease, subtle, and yet profound presence in the whole body, allowing for all that this experience has to offer. Sense the feeling of heaviness in your body. Sense the body anchored, grounded, heaviness in the body. And then sense the opposite. Feel for lightness, lightness within the body, as if you could lift or suspend in moonlight. Notice the feeling of lightness within the body. Feel for warmth, warmth within the body, the quiet inner flame of Aries. Notice warmth within the body. And then sense the opposite. Feel for coolness, the soothing glow of the moon. Feel for coolness in the body. And then feel for effort, the feeling of doing something. Notice where within the body you sense effort, lingering effort. And then notice the opposite. Notice the feeling of ease, the feeling of letting go, the serenity of being. Notice where within the body you sense the feeling of ease. And then notice and observe all sensations within the body. Heaviness, lightness, warmth, coolness, effort, ease, and any other sensations. Allow all of these sensations to blend and to integrate and to dissolve into spacious awareness. Within this state of integration, wholeness, spacious awareness, you might now begin to visualize the full harvest moon in Aries, high in the sky, brilliant, round, and golden white with flickers of fire. Envision the full harvest moon in Aries, high in the sky, brilliant, round, and golden white with flickers of fire. The moon casts the light over and across open fields, illuminating everything that has grown in this season. Your work, your lessons, your spiritual growth. And notice what is ready to be harvested. What might you release? Notice and observe what is ready to be harvested and what it is you can now release. Under the brilliance of the Aries full moon, you sense your inner fire, courage, renewal, and clarity. your inner fire, courage, renewal, and clarity. And now, as you breathe, as you sense your body breathing, imagine moonlight from the Aries full moon, moonlight pouring into your heart, through the belly, deep low belly, and into every cell of your body. In this moment, you are both fire and light, rooted and radiant. Sense the fire, sense the lightness, rooted and radiant. And in this state of being, you might return home, inward to the heart space, to your intention, reconnecting with your statement of truth. Repeat it another 3 times, allowing it to grow from a whisper to a strong statement of truth. And then as you feel ready, at least 3 or 4 times, repeat your intention. And then as you feel ready, breathe it in and let it go. Trusting the practice, the journey ahead, and oneself on this journey we call life. Allow yourself the gift of your presence for just a little more time. Linger, perhaps, in these feelings of rest. This feeling of coming home, so that you might take it with you into the remainder of your evening, the week ahead, and all that lies beyond. When you are ready to transition, do so slowly through the breath. Deep breath in through the nose. Maybe exhale, let it go with a sigh. Gratitude for oneself, showing up and taking time to care for yourself so that you might care for another. From my heart to yours, I'd like to thank each of you for showing up this evening and allowing me to share this practice of rest with you. I invite you to rest longer if you can, if you might. Otherwise, moving slowly with a little wiggle of your fingertips and your toes, maybe a big or a small stretch, whatever feels good. Take your time rolling to one side. Hang out there for a few cycles of breath before you rise to sit and stand tall. Have a great week, everybody. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up. See you soon.